absolutely stomping the LPL as it happens. They lost that one series, of course, to Weibo in summer so far. But as we were saying, they took a well-earned break after MSI, and they came back and they've had to ramp back up to speed. They've barely missed a step. The fact that we're calling it notable that they lost one series is in itself notable. Back onto the Rift, though, and...
But I think the difference in trajectories right now for these teams is very, very intense. As speaking of intense, I guess we won't get to talk about that because the level 1 way getting a little bit low. And there you go, Kanavi. He gets first blood for JDG.
Oh,
and Breathe,
no.
You're in a little bit of trouble here. As Kasante level 1 still gets the knockback. And flashing for the kill comes Knight. I think seeing the combo, at least in terms of missing, escorting him in that fashion as well. The duo is on point as LP might be getting aggressed by that duo. And there's the strength of JDG. Ruler gets the kill. As they were going to try to combo this with this Poppy for Wei. Get this damage down and should be able to get the ticks here on the 369. So RNG get themselves on the board. Gonna go for a second one. Point blank flash. That's huge. The knockback there on the Knight. He does have the pullback, and Wei gets the kill. So you wait around a little bit, and you end up getting paid. Huge stuff to get RNG back on the board. He's able to get a nice little lead on the Poppy. We're gonna be looking at a replay of that one. Wei's second attempt coming to mid lane, and it works out.
I think what they were waiting for was Knight's stun to be down. Uses the dematerializer to threaten a charm angle. Flashes beyond it, realizing the timing is right then, and Tanyuan gets to combo up with his jungler. Something that we said the RNG of old used to do.
Trying to get that combo, but that charm delays. Big all out though. Here comes 369 and the rest of JDG. They pounce straight into the throat of RNG. That's a double kill for Kanavi. And it's LP with a bit of...
JDG, again, they're such a talented skirmishing early game team alongside their teamfight identity as well. And you can see that again around this.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Such a talented skirmish teamfight team. They don't miss ultimates on sitting ducks, but it doesn't matter when you have an extra engage ultimate. Missing uses the double charge, the battle dance, to get onto the targets he needs to. It's actually significantly high damage as well in this early game when you combo it all together with Ignite. He's going to chunk out Ruler, allowing this Herald to go down. Navi still has ult. Didn't use that in that bot side. Tinywan's made his way down, but doesn't have ult. He doesn't have the same combat potential right now as Knight does.
That charge actually go through, get LP some gold there, but they're just trying to defend off of this collapse of JDG. Tibbers is available, but no flash.
Watch missing.
Pops that quickness, hits that grand entrance. Nice Keeper's Verdict evens the odds, and Missing goes down.
Where there's a will, there's a way, and it turns out there's no enemy team members to worry about. He just punts them out of the fight. Fantastic Poppy ult. Reduces the angle from Missing to absolutely nothing. Looked like a great fight in the making. Wei's ult evens the deal.
Really crucial stuff that this execution becomes so important in the game, in these fights. Knight goes for a big engage with the Tibbers. They don't really have the damage back, though, as actually Lubao will fall. Tagyuan afterwards as well. Does end up getting a little bit of a cleanup. Knight in trouble here. He does have a stun, but it doesn't matter. A double kill comes across for Wei, and ain't it so fitting that the caliber of junglers that we have, they're both sitting at 4-1. They are indeed. We're going to take a look at that replay as well and see how it just went down because Missing pulled the trigger.
This is the ult, which really solves this fight. Knight,
Merry
Navi,
Christmas.
they stack together. No, that's when you don't like your Christmas presents, you send them back. Like, you keep the receipts. It's like, nope, okay, Poppy ult, back out there. That is a clutch steadfast presence coming in from the Poppy afterwards too. Stops Kanavi connecting with the E. Grounds him as well, means that he takes a lot of extra damage from that. The early damage of the steadfast presence is actually fairly notable. Makes enough for that one. So RNG, they get themselves that objective, get themselves a one fight. Dragon not up. Herald spawning the next couple of seconds as well. Knight clearing out the wave.
Going for it though. Tibbers on the Tagyuan, and he will get the Everfrost back as a response. TP's coming in from JDG with Kanavi wrapping around the side. Wei has already claimed the kill, but here comes the rest of JDG. And you have Missing trying to go with that quickness engage, gets the double grand entrance, and Ruler is being chased. He gets the cleanse out with the Feather Call, coming through now, clutch. Featherstorm Blade Collar combo, gets Tagyuan. The LP is still big, but he can't face the might of Ruler. A double kill for Kanavi, and JDG come out on top.
In the LPL, we measure our bot diff with a ruler, but I mean, at the top side, sadly can't say the same thing for JDG. Breathe takes down 369, cancelled his teleport, which was coming into that fight. Meaning that RNG maybe thought the fight was on, still lose it anyway. Not going to respond towards that top side of Knight. Had a bit of another awkward one in that fight. But either way, it doesn't matter. After the fight ends, JDG, they get themselves that mid lane out of turret. They're buying themselves some more space across the map, particularly with structures falling now. JDG will have more inroads to look forward to these skirmishes.
Let's look at that replay now as well. We see the top lane as the Megadar is what? 369 was angry.
It was ETS. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's got his Meganar down. We can do something about this. Mininar has a lot of damage, folks. Great if you get on top of him, but Breathe just outspaces him.
Get kited as I'm the better MSI. You know, want to represent at least if he can. You know, Breathe might be a little salty there, but you know, it is what it is. But in this situation here, it's a attempted capitalization from JDG in a situation where, yes, the top side did go wrong in their avenue, but it was a nice fight from RNG, all things brought.
One of the things which might go amiss there, I'm trying to think. Oh no, there was a ward over the wall. I was wondering if it was the Ignite which gave Vision away, which allowed the E over the wall from Kanavi. But Kanavi, one of the very best Wukongs in the world, probably the best Wukong in the world, currently has 2 items, 6-1-1, and is showing once again why there are always too many champions to remove from JDG's pockets.
To take on a lot of these 1v1 matchups.
Navi.
And we'll see if he can do anything here, as he will not be able to influence this fight, and LP might have wanted him here. As he goes down, Knight is going to get a second kill, and it's Ruler who gets his third. There are some responses in side lane by RNG, but it's a full court press in mid lane by JDG. Yeah, he has a nice big shutdown on him as well, going straight to Breeze's pocket. Try to get this soul point later on. We're actually going to take a replay back at that fight where Kanavi kicked it off.
Yeah, but he gets kicked out of the fight just as quickly. Wei having some awesome ultimates in this game. It's just not enough to disengage everyone. First time he had that big ult, it got rid of the mid laner and the jungler. Can't get rid of Knight in this. And this is the big problem of trying to play FLS into such heavy dive. You can't ever really stay safe to the same amount for someone like that Xayah who can ult away. JDG making good use of that, but of course it doesn't really apply when you don't have the ult. Breathe just runs down the free kill.
Truly. As they did get distracted a little bit, maybe Ruler whispering a little bit of worth as they got that charge onto the in-him tower. But RNG, here you go. What happens if you're losing?
Here we go, Baron fights.
We'll see. 369 actually get a nice little flank. The keeper's verdict has already come out. Actually goes over to LP. Yeah, the re-engage by JDG. LP goes down. That's a big tippers from Knight. A big engage from JDG will mean that they just tear RNG apart. They don't lose a single member.
RNG are going to try and teleport out, get something back. Knight has himself. The stun gets rid of that recall.
Oh, he stops him, Toguen. And he turned into a sweet little treat for JDG. Back at RNG's attempt. Again, we've seen this time and time again. It just didn't matter this time.
As soon as the Baron spawns in the LPL, things just go completely off the rails. That is a clutch Cyclone to stop Breed getting on top of Ruler. Might have been able to force him to stop doing some DPS for just a little bit, buy someone else some extra time to escape. It just doesn't happen. A couple of near misses for RNG. The ultimate doesn't quite catch onto Xayah. Nah, can't quite get onto them either. And then after this, it is complete cleanup crew. Now trying to clean up Knight on the sideline though.
369's like, peace, I'm out. He actually finds Lumel on the back end of that one. We do get the kill over to LP. As I think the fight has continued. Yeah, 369. He all outs Lumel. No! Lumel, you thought you had the flank, but you're just a little Lulu.
Missing, has the battle dance, doesn't have his flash up for another couple of seconds.
Oh, let's go! Decisive boxing action for JDG. They're chasing down LP. Big stick from Kanavi. And that's 369 cleaning up Wei. JDG will get some backs off. They need to deal with Breathe, but they still have a big amount of pressure to put bot lane.
The first few minutes in this game, you could have believed that RNG were fighting evenly, but JDG, they just always have another round left in them in this boxing match. They're finally taking this mid lane inhibitor. They're pulling ahead in gold. There are no Baron buffs left for RNG. They've walked away from this whole macro affair with so much extra than RNG.
Kanavi said, you want this smoke, Toguen? I'll smack you with my stick again! Kanavi gets the big one.
Monkey See, Monkey Bonk, Kanavi, best Wukong in the world, continually finding these engages, getting huge teamfight DPS, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
He is 9-1 on this pick, man. Oh my goodness. We thought Wei was giving him a bit of a run for his money. He is just running all over RNG. Holy cow, he just says, on sight, I will take you out. Knight says, I got you too, bro. I'm gonna be right there next to you. As JDG are pushing mid lane, I was gonna say it's a bit aggressive. They'll turn back to get this Dragon Soul point.
I think with the respawn coming in from Tanyuan, you feel just about cut down to size. Wei has flash, has been off vision for a while, but I think JDG sniff it out.
Wei, can he do it? He's got Tanyuan. They're over the wall. Wei's waiting. He's buying time. 1,000. He gets it! Oh my goodness! Breath of life given to RNG from their standout jungler of Wei.
Tanyuan jumps into the pit and smites it down into smite range for Wei. JDG, they tried to hold it at a certain HP, but with the 2 smites on the table, they can't quite do it.
Can't believe the fates have aligned. RNG represent, but Wei, we highlighted this man earlier. This matchup is so intense. Wei versus Kanavi. Wei was waiting back here for so long, and look at the combo come through.
I mean, he spellbook snites to the point it gets just into range. I think that just spooks Kanavi and goes, smites come through, gotta get this down. There are 2 smites on the table. RNG walk away with it. It's a feel-good moment. It's a bit of dopamine. Not sure that's going to save you from bleeding out, but it's a fun moment.
Momentum can be a heck of a thing here in the LPL, though. You still got to deal with Kanavi, who's 10-1-10. No big deal. But they've connected onto him. He's still got his GA, though. And you've got to watch out for the rest of the fight as 369 shows up. Breathe, not going to have Mega. Kanavi goes down. That's a big frontal aggression moment for RNG that they punish the overextended JDG.
You get rid of the GA as well. Of course, that was going to remove that from the table for a little while. So you've taken half an item away from JDG because of that fight. RNG, they've rattled JDG just a little bit.
Man.
But Knight still has flash. Everyone's grouped up in this mid lane. Of course, Elder is not on the table just yet, but Soul is. JDG, they don't have the smite. They're not going to go towards it right now. RNG, they have Baron buff, remember, but they don't necessarily have the items to take on JDG. Knight, Ruler, still incredibly powerful in their own right.
A Hex Soul right now would just be a sinking of the teeth from JDG into RNG, but they will not even contest it. They will live to fight another day, and RNG, with these item spikes, they're really starting to give a little bit of hope here.
Dangerous thing is that hope, but how did that one come about? So, Kanavi, he's very, very fed in this game. We talk about him an awful lot. Very strong. Not quite strong enough to 1v4, even with the GA and being higher level than the enemy solo laners. It's a close run thing, almost kills Wei, and you can feel the confidence in which JDG are playing with. Confidence is it's quite a close thing to lunacy at points, though. Gets a little bit too far over the edge. It goes back onto the map without managing to complete himself a 4th item, but he's getting close to it. The Phage in inventory. Kanavi might even be able to complete it on this back, completing the recall right now. JDG, this game probably should have been over by this point. RNG doing well to extend it, even though they are still behind.
You're against a team called Royal Never Give Up, and you should keep that namesake in mind. You got 4 items away for LP. He's got the guns, and you're looking to get this combo set up. Tanyuan with that perfectly timed charm in that replay. He is starting to light up, even at the 1, 5, and 7. He is crucial in a lot of the setup damage, but as well as the lockdown CC that RNG are looking for.
Ruler almost pops the Banshee's Veil from Tanyuan. See how long he can keep that one for. It really is only the Zaya.
They got a positive bear that time.
They did, and it was very needed. Tanyuan going on to Ruler.
Oh, Ruler. He has all of his tools. It was all just a bait. As Knight comes in with the timbers, it's not enough in the preemptive strike. Ruler's still firing away. Ruler with that Feather Storm and a triple kill already. He's looking for Lumao, but it's looking for the game now. You step up to Ruler, you better be ready for the bat to the head.
Hail to the king, hail to the ruler, taking the game into his own hands. Pentakill technically on the table here.
He does get that one. He might find one more. I want to see it come through, Ruler, just like in the previous series. Okay, he's finally going to focus on it. All right, breathe. He goes down. He got the unofficial penta for Ruler, and game number 1 holistically in JDG's favor. Took control of that game 1. Now we're straight into picks and bans of this game number 2, and it's going to be already first phase complete. We got the Wukong for Wei this time, the Ahri for Tong Yuan again, and the Xayah for LP for RNG on the blue side. JDG on the red side, however, we'll have that Aphelios and the Annie and the Kazakhs for Kanavi.
Already some worries coming in from RNG by my eye, because when you're playing against Knight's Annie, best Annie in the LPL, one of the best in the world again. You can say that about a lot of champions here for JDG and their players, though. They're really good. That's likely a winning lane versus Tanyuan and Angel, despite the fact that, not Angel, Tanyuan, Angel the last series. It's just the Ahri on the mind, man. But when you have the Ahri in that lane, last game, it was great because you had the Poppy to gank early. I don't think you're going to have that again. So you're likely having winning mid lane priority from JDG, and having Kazakhs being able to play around winning mid lane priority is very dangerous from RNG. Annie's going to be a flank threat later into the game. Kanavi's going to build up that Umbral Glaive to deny vision, get Fog of War for Knight to start performing in. RNG, they need to be very careful that Kanavi doesn't get to chokehold the map and put it into darkness very early on after that first item.
And I just have to point out that, like, the man has that kind of performance on Wukong in game number 1, and they just say, let's dive deeper into this. Give you Kazakhs. Let's see what you can do. Can you go 30-0? Let's see what happens. At this point, Kanavi will have that absolute resource allocation here on the Kazakhs, trying to get ahead in the early game. Now, we did get through the second phase of bans. We had the Gnar ban, which is honestly rightfully so towards Breathe, the Nautilus ban as well. On the other side for RNG, we had the Gwen and the Thresh ban there. It is an insta-lock-in of that Rakan for JDG.
Yeah. So we see the Gwen ban. That means the Scion's coming through. Interested now if we're going to get the Gragas last pick for 369. It is 369's Gragas. It's good into tank matchups as well. That would strike me as a powerful pick for them to use. Was surprised that he got the Kasansei in that first game. Often very much banned in that first round, as it is in this one. RNG, they don't have themselves a Xayah Rakan. I feel like they do need something to flip this game. There are a lot of squishies you can hook into the team. I don't mind the Blitzcrank as a pick. It gives that X factor you need somehow, some way.
Trying to find a way in here. A little bit of a hover, a little bit of a laugh from Lumao. Does lock in the Blitzcrank. So pulling out a little bit of a magic trick out of the hat here in the last pick for RNG. Just something to offset maybe a little bit of JDG's precision thinking. It is the Ornn actually locked in for 369 as well.
Okay, so the Ornn, good in the tank versus tank matchups as well. Not going to be 369's Gragas, but similar logic, tank versus tank. You're just going to provide value in those team fights and have a stable laning phase. So this game from JDG is very much about you have engaged from mid lane, top lane, and support. Kazakhs is there to help support winning lanes, starve out vision, and allow those engages to have much better angles. On the other side, RNG, they're looking to get a hook, they're looking to get a Wukong or an Ahri pick before that can happen. RNG, if they let that vision go, the game goes with it. They need to be the ones making proactive picks to stop the blackout of the entire map coming in from JDG.
You got to get a little bit of breathing room, as you will. I'm going to keep going back to that one, but especially the nature of that game number 1. You just didn't have any of it. Yeah, you know, it works. It works. But I especially like some of the adaptation, that Blitzcrank pulling away the Xayah from Ruler here. I think they have a lot, especially the way that Wei performed in game number 1. I expect that kind of same stylized aggression from him on the Wukong. But like you said, it's that proactivity that you have to see. If you start seeing any lag in that, it's going to become that much more difficult. And if Kanavi in any way, shape, or form gets an advantage on this Kazakhs, it's going to be a detriment to RNG's faithful.
So, JDG, they open up their new home arena. Plenty of seats in there to fill, and with games like this, games like Game 1, I'm sure their fans will be flocking to fill those seats. RNG, previous MSI title holders, looking to snap back against the current ones. He is, and again, trying to upset Ruler if you can do at all possible. Got to shut this guy down. What can they do? They're only level 2.
All right, they're going to flash on the other side. Ruler getting low. Ruler, he's going to go down. First blood for LP. There you go, Lumao. You're all by yourself. Gonna have to flash your teammates. Grabs Kanavi, who goes right back to the bush with his own flash. Ruler starting to pick away at LP. LP is all by himself. He got TPs on both sides. Breathe immediately running away as the Ornn Horde connects, and LP has used everything he had in the tank except for his cleanse, and he'll just go down. play that we're actually going to take a look back up now.
Okay, so this is, again, the vision control, which you are afforded by good macro play, and of course the Umbral Glaive helping out a little bit in his own regard as well. Walks over a ward. JDG spot the rest of the RNG members leaving. They know the play is now, and despite the hook and the ult landing, it's just not coordinated enough because RNG don't start the fight with everyone in the right position. LP flashes out, but the teleport is better from him than it is from Breathe Scion. The Scion doesn't have the angle onto the AD carry, whereas the solo laners JDG absolutely obliterate LP. Yeah, you know, they are going to put that Herald in mid, probably going to take that turret, see where 369 gets to. Knight is teleporting in. They're starting to spoil for a fight.
JDG wants it. Knight coming over. Lumao caught out. Can't get the hook anywhere he needed to go. He got the re-engage down by Wei. The Feather Storm did come out as a safety net, but Wei is chunking him down. Tonguet can't get the reset there. Wei going down to Ruler. Breathe on the other side. It was LP who picked off Missing, but it's a flash from 369, and he secures the kill here in the end. It was a double kill for LP of RNG, but still Ruler perfectly comfortable in the situation he's in.
Onto a couple of folks on their own right. But okay, let's have a look at how this sets up, because there's teleports committed. There's the counterpunch to the Herald. First, the hook misses. Even if that hits, I'm pretty sure it's a pretty bad situation. You're still going to get engaged onto by that Rakan. Blitzcrank completely out of the fight before it starts. And even with the good engagement from Wei, again, you can see the difference between these team fight compositions. One has much more ability in the extended fights beyond the first pick, especially with the Felos, Rulers of Felos running over the fight. This is about as good as it gets. You just don't have the same tools to have that continued DPS. Oh, that's kind of bullshit.
I was wondering how Knight went down. Nice little feather pull.
I was like, oh, I was watching one side of the fight. Surely Breathe hit with a Q. It's like, no, it just doesn't look at the floor. The floor is lava, literally.
Literally, the floor is feathers. Oh, Charm goes a little bit wide there. Kanavi and the rest of JDG able to get out. 369 was on a bit of a flank here. He does not have the ultimate, though. RNG are committing to this position.
They are. This is really dangerous from RNG. Ult from 369 just about to come up.
Okay, Missing goes golden. He's buying time in the pit, though. It is going to be Tonguet who secures the dragon. On the back, though, Knight has already found LP, and that's striking at the heart of RNG. It's also Ruler picking apart Wei, and the rest of RNG have to run away.
369 doesn't even need to ult. RNG, they get the dragon. That's something for them, but they're giving more and more gold over to JDG. Feels a little bit reminiscent of that first game. Occasionally RNG would take a good fight. They would occasionally take themselves a neutral objective through a steal, a flip, or whatever, but they're still falling behind to the carries of JDG. And now as soon as we're getting to the next couple of minutes, Baron's on the table. You give up a Baron, this game is as good as done.
JDG will just run away with it. We've seen them do it time and time again. We are looking at second items on the cusp here for a lot of members of both sides, especially LP really wanting to get that second item completion. But we're going to take a look back at RNG's positioning here and how they set up around this dragon, which Tonguet actually took away.
And so just about able to steal that one. The initial pick onto Missing is failed. The stopwatch comes through. Of course, you won't have that for the next fight. One use only on that item, but it's enough to get value out of this. Missing gets out alive. And if you have to be putting your first pick and your hook towards the Rakan instead of someone like anyone that can do damage. Let's be honest, Kanavi, Knight, Ruler, any of them are okay. Then as soon as the fight goes beyond that point, they realize, hang on, you don't have that hook anymore. You don't have the pick potential. We win the DPS check.
As JDG positioning over this Baron pit, they want to try to pull the trigger here potentially. Quickness is just waiting to get popped. The grab comes through, but it's straight onto the tank. 369 going to burn his flash. He might just go down here, and that could just lead to resets coming through for RNG. They want a front-to-back fight all day, and they're starting to take it. Tonguet gets the first kill for him, and now Lumao overextended. He just gets taken apart by Kanavi. JDG are now on the front foot.
Because RNG, they get some good kills. Great. Use the hooks. Use your ability to find those picks. But you got to get that damage down at some point. They can't go towards the Baron. There's too much threat available left on the board. Knight still has flash.
Knight's huge. Knight decisively takes out RNG over the wall. Ruler in a 1v1 against LP. He'll find his solo bolo. Again, you just cannot step to this man in this league as he dominates every single time he hits the rift.
There is an inevitability about Ruler, which is so exciting to watch. He takes over the fight again. It will lead to the Baron and JDG. When one of them falls, there is another superstar carry to pick up the pieces. JDG once again in control.
The multi-headed, threatening Hydra that has become JDG. Off of their MSI championship, there were questions of how they enter this gauntlet of a summer split, but they have seemingly answered those. Even if they drop games occasionally, when they can execute like this, even in these situations, you know it's going to be a good time.
It's a bit of an awkward start, of course. 369 kind of caught between the Scion Q and, of course, the wall. A bit more difficult than the rock in the hard place. Ruler's not able to do damage for most of the start of this fight. And I think RNG forget about that. Lumao tries to get a pick onto one of the carries, doesn't quite land it. And it doesn't matter that you've taken down the front line at this point. Your ultimates are gone, you don't have the same threat, and Knight
here
pounces. He still had the flash after all this time. JDG, I think one of the most impressive things, I mean, Kanavi's died in picture-in-picture. I've talked about that one at least.
Okay, we're looking back at the game now as Kanavi is dead. There is some pressure from JDG on top side with this Baron buff to take this down, but Knight dies to the tower. And things are starting to fall off the wheels here for JDG, but luckily Ruler sets it back up and puts the wheels back on.
He just hops on a trade on the way out of there. Like, guys, kill the tower. I mean, it heated up already. I don't know if someone had dropped aggro, but Knight takes way too much damage despite the upgraded
Look at that smile.
He knows exactly what's happened there. But JDG are going to walk away with the Baron buff still on most of their team, at least on Ruler. Wait, it's actually just Ruler now. Everyone else had died, I'm pretty sure. I don't know whether they had taken it after... yeah, I mean, Kanavi dies again. This is a bit of an awkward one. So they see them walking in. I think Kanavi is just a little bit too... I think he's just a little too confident when he has the Edge of Night. Doesn't manage to get hit by the hook, but he already used the flash in the previous fight, so he doesn't have the ability to disengage completely. And what the heck happens here, folks? Leandri's Tix ends up giving it to Knight, gives it to 369, who leaves aggro, who gives it back to Knight. That is just that to me, to you, to me, tower aggro, and Knight ends up bearing the brunt of that one.
All right, we got 3 items completed for LP. We got a fight brewing that RNG seemingly want to take. They are starting up this dragon right now, and JDG are looking to fight them right back. Got engaged from 369. Knight's looking for the big flash play. Everybody's getting low for RNG already. Moonlight Vigil connects from Ruler, and here comes the combo as it ain't stopping anytime soon. That's a huge moment for JDG as a triple kill came across for Knight. It's now a dragon.
There is a moment in every game which JDG asks you the question, are you willing to fight? Most of the time, the opponents don't have an answer. It's here at 28 minutes in this game too, and RNG, they have fought valiantly. They've asked questions of JDG, which have had some merit to them. Ruler's gone, Knight's gone. Knight is teleporting back.
He's back.
Maybe they're going to outplay this.
Oh? Tong Yuen, be a little bit more careful. There's the unstoppable onslaught. Knight's waiting over the wall with the flash Tibbers play. They want to find the big group up. There he is! He was waiting in the wings, but it might not be enough in the end. Mystic trying to get over here and help him as JDG just throwing themselves at Royal Never Give Up.
Probably just a little bit too much at that point. Knight does get himself a flashy kill onto the AD carry. It means that Ruler is the only AD carry here. He's got DPS.
Ruler does a lot of damage, man. Ruler does a lot of damage, and he's just going to take out Breathe. Oh, he falls. The combo of Mystic and Ruler looks so damn good.
1 and 6. Ruler is such a pleasure to watch. RNG, they again force JDG into an objective fight. But JDG, they're just set up for the engage. And this time, 369 gets to get his second part of his ult. He's been denied it most of the time. But the combo comes from the heavens like a holy rain. And RNG, they are absolutely torn apart.
Those first couple Infernum shots, just setting it up, was doing so much already. And then we see Lumao getting caught out here. But this is where JDG overextended, and the play call from RNG actually came up clutch.
So, 369. And Kanavi caught alone behind enemy lines. It gets a little close. I wonder if Kanavi could have just chosen to dip at some point. Right here, he has himself his flash, flashes out the Scion Cube, but he just sticks around a little too much. I think him and Knight realize they have damage. It's just about how they arrange it. If Knight catches Tango and LP in that combo, maybe that could work out. Maybe if you kill both those carries, he can work around to a second rotation. It was a close run thing, doesn't get it done. JDG still in the advantage, still on the map.
JDG now trying to find a pick. Oh, Lumel with a nice little grab, and 369 is just gone. All tanky he can be. He will still be the primary focus. And while the tower goes over to Ruler, it's a nice little fight back from RNG for now. Maybe Wei looking for a bit of a wraparound. Again, you step to Ruler, you have to be up to the task. Can you do it? He has so much healing, but there you go, you caught him! Konami, you're all alone! Nobody's isolated for you now, and RNG are making something out of nothing here, as they will end up catching Konami as well. By this JDG squad, and we'll take a look right back at what you were talking about.
So this is a two-part thing, right? Hook over the wall, awesome, and they managed to actually DPS down the front line while there's no one in position from JDG to DPS. Then the real game-breaking, the fight-breaking engage happens just after this point. Watch Wei and watch Knight. He has his stun available, flashes over the Rakan, W's to the side of the Tibbers, and gets onto both carries. Wei is one of these MSI title holders. He's got to do it again, though. What's this event is going to go?
Okay. Wei's gone. He's not here in the pit any longer. Trying to get in there. Tangyu, and he... What?
No, that's it!
Wei! All right, Breathe is back online. It is a full-on 5-on-5, but these are the moments that JDG have thrived in recent memory. They're looking to put the final stamp on this. They're trying to take a 2-0 easy night to improve to 5-1 here in the summer split, but RNG do not want to give up. They do not want to give another moment over to JDG. Things are collapsing around them. The walls are starting to close in, as we'll see if JDG want to actually try to push this. There's a couple more super minions coming in from mid lane, but they are hesitant here.
Lumao is positioning for a hook, got rid of Kanabi's spell shield with a smite. He hooks in the Ornn.
That's full build for LP as well, so he's got the GA, so they've got a little bit of breathing room in terms of the play around LP. Tangyu going for it, can't find Ruler. Ruler pulls that Gale Force. Here comes the engage, though, from 369. Wei's clone tanking up a decent amount. They're focusing on the minions here, as least trying to get away from the turret. That's the Featherstorm out, though. They got Knight. They might have this. Wei goes to GA now. LP needs to be the difference maker. Can he step up to the moment? He has nothing left in front of him. Tangyu can find a big charm, but he can't do it. Nexus tower down, and JDG, they're putting the end. They're trying to get it. There's the feather call, but it's not going to be enough because you step to JDG again and have no answer. 5-1 are JDG.
Royal never gave up, but it was not enough. The heroics could not see them to a game 3, and JDG reminders in the most flair-heavier fashions why they are one of the best teams in the LPL and in the world.
Go ahead and give some rightful handshakes there, though. RNG would not give up, as we've said multiple times. It was Wei leading the charge on that every single time, it felt like. And having, honestly, a great series, even with a 2-0 loss, there is just that conversation of trajectory, right? RNG, they're building up to something. They found pieces that they like. They're trying to find pieces to add to that. JDG found exactly what they needed to in the offseason of 2022,